The UFC's decision to block Diego Lopes from cornering Alessandro Costa during his preliminary fight is sparking a lot of discussion, and it raises questions about fairness and team dynamics in MMA events. But here's where it gets controversial. While Costa will be at Lopes' side during Lopes' main event fight at Noche UFC, Lopes himself won't be allowed to return the favor for Costa's fight. This unique setup has both advantages and drawbacks, and it's worth exploring why it's happening and what it means for both fighters. Diego Lopes, a former featherweight title challenger, is set to headline the Noche UFC card against fellow Brazilian Jean Silva. Alessandro Costa, his longtime teammate and close friend, will be competing on the preliminary portion of the September 13 event in San Antonio, Texas, facing off against Alden Coria. Costa explained the mixed feelings about the scheduling to MMA fighting, noting that while he'll get to support Lopes in his corner, Lopes won't be allowed to do the same for him. This is a significant departure from what fans might expect, considering Lopes has previously cornered teammates during big UFC events. Most notably, Lopes helped Alexa Grasso prepare for her title fight against Valentina Shevchenko at the Sphere, and he even cornered Brian Ortega in a previous Noche UFC victory. "It's a bit of a mixed bag," Costa commented. "I'm set to be the third fight on the card, which is great because I'll get to be in Diego's corner. But the downside is Diego won't be in mine." Costa went further, saying that the UFC explicitly denied Lopes permission to corner him, despite their efforts and the timing of the fights. The Brazilian warriors have history together. Back in 2019 at Lux Fight League 7 in Monterrey, Mexico, both fighters starred on the same card and took home wins, with Lopes defending his 145-pound title via submission and Costa winning by decision. However, their paths haven't always been perfectly aligned. At UFC 295, Costa suffered a decision loss to Steve Erceg right before Lopes secured a win, without Costa by his side. These moments highlight the ongoing challenge of balancing individual fights with team support, a delicate dance in the UFC. Costa praised Lopes' mindset and renewed motivation, especially following Lopes' recent title fight loss to Alexander Volkanovski. Lopes is determined to bounce back stronger, and Costa says fans can anticipate an exciting, finely tuned performance from him. While Jean Silva poses a tough challenge, Costa believes Lopes' extensive experience will be the deciding factor. "Jean hasn't yet faced someone at Diego's level," Costa remarked. "We're not underestimating Jean at all. He's a solid fighter, but Diego is laser-focused and prepared with a new game plan. Jean might make things tricky, but we're ready for whatever comes." Interestingly, despite Silva's verbal jabs and psychological tactics leading up to their Brazil versus Brazil clash in Texas, Costa reveals that his teammate remains unshaken. "Jean talks a lot, tries to get under our skin," Costa noted with a smile. "But we're used to this from the past. We've dealt with plenty of fighters like that, both in Mexico and beyond. It's nothing new, and honestly, it just makes us laugh. It won't affect Diego at all." As for Costa himself, he's aiming to snap back into the winning column and start the San Antonio event on a high note. Interestingly, he's relieved not to be fighting a Mexican flyweight on a card heavily themed around Mexican Independence Day, a fight with Edgar Chairez that unfortunately fell through. Alden Coria stepped up as a replacement, a fighter from Houston, Texas, which adds an intriguing layer to the matchup. Coria is a strong striker with solid takedown defense and a lot of experience, Costa shared. "Edgar probably posed a bigger threat, but I'm not taking Alden lightly. After nearly 2 years away, I'm feeling great in mind and body. This is my night. I'm ready." Having called Mexico home for over a decade, Costa hopes to gain the support of Mexican fans in San Antonio. The prospect of eventually facing Edgar Chairez remains his target, perhaps in a future card if both fighters are willing. A lot of people said, "Who do we root for?" with Edgar and me both being popular here. "That was a great fight in the making," Costa reflected. "My plan is to finish this fight quickly and be ready to return in November. If Edgar is up for it, I'll be ready too." This story raises deeper questions. Should fighters be allowed more freedom to corner their teammates, even if scheduling is tight? Does the UFC's decision undermine the camaraderie and strategy that can make or break a fight? And how do fighters mentally manage when their support system is limited by regulations? Share your thoughts. Do you think the UFC made the right call here? Or should fighters have more control over their corner teams? The floor is open for debate.